catching up on the latest adventures from Daedalic here at E3, and Claas, I just got to see Silence the Whispered World 2. Looks amazing. Can you tell us a little bit what's gone into the sort of the art style there that's in the game?
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're using a technology we call camera projection, in which we have a 3D environment with 3D props in it and 3D characters, and on the other hand, are projecting a 2D artwork on that. And this means that we can hand paint these artworks and maintain the awesome quality that our artists are producing, and still have a very new feeling and a 3D feeling to everything we're seeing.
Very interesting mix of sort of elements there. I gotta say, you started out your presentation of the game saying that it's not a direct sequel. Mm-hmm. How do you sort of, where does it fit with the first game?
And actually, everything takes place years after the first game. Noah, who was the boy who was actually dreaming the Whispered World in the first adventure and was in a coma and had to be saved, is now a 16-year-old, almost grown up. So everything is way apart from as we know it. Noah is a very responsible person now, so he changed his personality as well. He's got a little sister called Rini, and they both get dragged into the Whispered World again, and Noah will see that he has to save Rini from there. And we will see that on the one hand, he uses his new personality, everything he learned, his new responsibility that he feels and everything in the game. And on the other hand, there will also be chances from his Sadwick personality that are still in him and that still keep him moving. And yeah, we will also even see some slight changes into Sadwick later on.
Some very interesting themes here. But I gotta say, like when I saw this, and you talked about that as well, this is very much a narrative-driven adventure. There are puzzles there, of course, and that's how you progress in the game, but it doesn't feel like it's not about challenging the players with overly complex puzzles. It's more about telling the narrative and immersing the player in the story.
Definitely, yeah. We want to go down a a little different route for adventure game design. We still have a adventure game with all the elements that you know in there, and on the other hand, we're easing out a couple of things. So for example, you won't have an inventory in which you collect like 25 different items there. You are working with one item at a time. Still, you have multiple options or multiple opportunities where you can use these items, what you can combine them with, and you have to follow the information that you're getting from the game. For example, things that you hear in dialogues or that you have observed, to really find out what the proper solution to a puzzle is.
Yeah, it sort of reminded me a little bit about the approach that Broken Age took to it, Tim Schafer's latest game. And another thing that you're introducing is the enemies. That you can actually die there in the game. It's not just slow, but there are things that can happen.
Yeah, that's it. There are creatures, hostile creatures running around in the Whispered World, and they are a danger. And we got to find ways how to deal with that. And we have to hide from them. We have to find out what else we can do with them. And if we don't follow, again, what we learned in this game, if we don't, search for information also by talking to people, we might end up dying. However, there will never be a punishment for the player, so you just get thrown back to where you made your mistake.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you'll be showing more of this game at Gamescom. What's the roadmap ahead with the game, and when can we expect to see the full thing out there?
We'll be releasing it early next year for PC and Mac, so yeah, definitely at Gamescom we have a way more enhanced version then.